Alright, so this is the handlebar kit. When you're opening it, this is what it looks like. Now let's take a quick peek at the instructions here. Right, the first thing it tells you to do is take the padding off the knee bar. After the padding, it wants you to attach the T-bar, the handles. This is the handles. It wants you to replace the padding with the handles. Okay, that's straightforward. And then 3, it wants you to connect the existing knee bar with the new extender. So I can't pause, eh? So step number 3 asks you to connect the extended bar with your existing knee bar, right? That's pretty much straightforward. You know, you slip it in and then boom, done. So step 4, it talks about the release button. So that means this thing, this goes to the base of your seg, right? Instead of your knee bar, put in that. So that's pretty much it, the instruction. The most difficult part about this instruction is this, and I'm going to show you why. Alright, so the objective is to replace these knee pads with this handlebar. And here's the first problem. When you're working away on this knee pad, look how close the actual bar is to the screws. So if you're trying to use this tool that they give you to unscrew this, just look at how illogical this is. This screw you might be okay, right? Because you can turn it. You know, I won't do it now, but you could turn it and you have a little bit of room. But look at that. You're gonna have to be here all night, right? When you turn it, you have a little play. When you try and access this screw, as well as this screw over here, look at all the room you get. So I'm gonna stick it in. Right? Look, I'm already flush. I'm already flush against that. So I have no turning room. And the result is, if you are stupid enough to keep going and try and turn on it, you're going to warp it. You're going to warp the hole. And guess what? You're going to replace these thick screws with these even thinner screws in that hole. I mean, the screw should be the same, but they're much smaller on the head, and you'll have some issues down the road. So what's the solution? Well, you're gonna have to open this 9-bot. Oh man, I don't want to do this guy, he's a virgin. You're gonna have to open this 9-bot, and you see 3 screws. Once you undo these 3 screws, you're gonna lift this out of the way, and then you'll be able to do your thing without any bar in your way. Okay, so that's the first trick to get this done. The bar's in your way, so you have to remove this piece to get access to the screws properly. And again, you can do it. You probably get away with doing it with another tool like this, but even though, look how close you are to the bar, and when you're turning, you know, you just have to be a little off, and then you're going to start stretching that damn hole, and then you're finished. Because look what these 4 screws are responsible for. They're responsible for the full weight of this bar, right? And I'm putting like 40 pounds on this bar. So my 40 pounds are dependent on these 4 screws. Yeah, you want to do this right. Okay, so the next problem, I think, our new user, I think her name is Shella, she's probably having a problem with this, right? If she's saying that this mechanism has broken off, look how much it kicks in there. This is the only thing that is holding that and this little screw. So the intention is this little screw is permanent and this is supposed to be removable. But you know what? Once you put this sucker on, it's not going to be like a quick release like this one. So let me just show you what it looks like. Okay, so here's the last part. Connecting this, I mean, it's pretty straightforward, right? It just slip it in. So let's look at the possible challenges that we can have here with this. So if you look here on this side, so we've got to be completely flush before you even do it. So there it is. That's completely flush. Just slide in. Not even, eh? Still have a piece sticking out. There it is. So it's pretty snug. So without the screws, you could see that it's pretty snug. But look, there's a little bit of play. See that? It's not an Apple product. So by default, without the screws, there's a little bit of play. Maybe that's a good thing. I don't know. Okay, so then when you tighten it, look what happens to the play. You know, it plays a little bit there. So what that tells me is that the pressure of it wiggling does not translate directly to the turning mechanism here. The weight of it rests on these screws. Maybe that's by design. I don't know if they're that clever. And that's the good thing, because screws are replaceable. But this mechanism here, the turning mechanism, you're putting 100 miles on it with a aggressive weight. You don't know what wear and tear is going to look like. So I guess the vibrations and the play when it's flush rests on the pressure of these screws onto the metal. So look what it's digging into. So if you take a look what it's digging into, first question is, when you're putting it in there, is it going right in to that hole? The answer is yeah. It's kind of going in there. Let's see if there's any marks. Yeah, see that mark? I don't know if you can see it, but there's a little metal mark. I'm gonna bring my camera closer. This is important. There's that little flash of metal, right? When you dig this sucker in, that's what it's digging into. You're digging right into that metal. So as much as that metal is going to tolerate this thing, now what's interesting, look at the exact placement of it. There's a lot of space around it. So the pressure is based on the tip, right? The corner of this screw, and that's the stability of your bar. I'm wondering if you were to fill this in with some sort of compound hard rubber, if that might stabilize things. And it's probably the same concept on the other side. So that's where all the pressure is going to stabilize it. So I don't know what the exact problem that she's having with her bar. Maybe she's having a problem with this sleeve, but hopefully she sends a video to explain what's going on. This sleeve here is just meant to tighten and cover up the metal part. See how that looks? It just makes it flush. So this is actually what the screw is digging into, not this plastic part. This is made of metal. This white bar is plastic, hard-ass plastic. Okay, hopefully that helps out. Take care.